Hey Sunrise, it's Andrew here with your small group questions for this week as we dive into Mark 9, verses 14 through 29 for week 3 of our Gospel Encounter series. And so the first question that hits us is, what is the Gospel Encounter in our text? Who is the Gospel being revealed to? And so what are the different elements of the Gospel being seen here? Because we've seen different pieces, maybe not always the full Gospel in each of our texts, but we've seen pieces, we've seen elements of Christ's interaction, how the Gospel is revealed in those moments. So what is it in this text? How does the context help us see what's going on here? There is a transition here from where was Jesus when the disciples were trying to cast out this demon. So what is the setting for our text? Of course, then you read it and you go, why aren't the disciples able to cast out this demon? And why does that cause such a stir? Why is the crowd upset that the disciples have failed in this task? So again, you can look to the end. I'll give you some of the answer to that as well. But you can flesh it out as well as to what does this mean? What are they doing, and how does that failure affect those around them? And then how does Jesus' success in this moment change things? So we have the boy's father comes and asks Jesus to help him. And we have that question that Jesus says, all things are possible for those who believe. What does that mean? What does it mean that all things are possible for those who believe? What does it mean in the context of our text? And do we honestly believe and act in that way? It's a challenging statement that Jesus makes. And then he moves on to the second part, which is this point that the man responds in complete honesty that he believes, but he needs Jesus to help his unbelief. It is a powerful statement. I believe, but help my unbelief. What stands out in those words? How do we feel the weight of that statement? How has Jesus helped your unbelief in different aspects of life? And then Jesus, of course, works, heals the boy, and then the disciples ask him why they couldn't, and he makes the point that only through prayer is this possible. So again, what does that tell us about what the disciples were doing at the beginning? But even in Jesus teaching them at the end, what are we learning about Jesus in this moment towards his disciples? So as you work through this text, you'll continue to see the heart of the gospel displayed, both towards the crowd and towards his disciples, as Christ continues to reveal himself a little bit more as we move towards the continuation of our series, learning more about who Christ is through these gospel encounters. Can't wait to see you guys on Sunday as we unpack these truths.